The Trump administration is ramping up pressure on the Maduro regime, with the Treasury Department announcing sanctions on 4 companies and associated oil tankers with ties to Venezuela. Let's bring in Victoria Coates, Heritage Foundation Vice President of National Security and former foreign policy and Deputy National Security Advisor to Trump. Thank you so much for being with us on this first day of a new year. We greatly appreciate it. Starting off with these new sanctions, pretty major development. The Treasury Secretary himself, Scott Bessent, said in a statement that President Trump has been clear we will not allow the illegitimate Maduro regime to profit from exporting oil while it floods the United States with deadly drugs. And now we've seen an actual strike on a dock area there in Venezuela, and here's what President Trump had to say about that.
There was a major explosion in the dock area where they load the boats up with drugs. They load the boats up with drugs, so we hit all the boats, and now we hit the area. It's the implementation area. That's where they implement, and that is no longer around.
Victoria, I want to get your insights now as we're seeing military pressure, but also significant ramping up of financial pressure as well. Your thoughts?
Exactly. Well, Happy New Year. And I think what we're seeing here is essentially maximum pressure 2.0 out of the second Trump term against Venezuela. So they're going after, as you reported, the oil revenue that is really the lifeblood for Maduro and his regime. That's their ATM, their cash cow that's keeping them in power, keeps their their repressive regime in place. Also, they're feeding that to Cuba, which is helping them as well. So by going after the that oil stream, the president's going to choke them off. And at the same time, he's taking kinetic action against these horrible drug cartels related to the regime that are flooding the United States with these deadly narcotics. So I think it's basically a two-pronged approach that hopefully will have the desired result and get Maduro out of power.
Yeah, and I want to ask you real quickly, because there's this Reuters headline that oil tankers are still arriving there in Venezuela, despite this U.S. blockade data shows. What do you make of that? The blockade is very significant. We've taken action, specifically even taking, seizing several oil tankers. I think it's 2 at this point, and then there was a long pursuit of a third. But your thoughts about at least some small element of ships still getting through?
No, that's what we have to choke off. And this is a difficult process. Bear in mind, with Iran, it took us over a year to go after all of those tankers that they were using. They have these shadow fleets, and they are related not just to Venezuela, but also to Iran and to Russia. So it's very complicated. That third tanker, the Bella 1, has now rebranded itself and painted a Russian flag on its hull to sort of claim a different jurisdiction. So this is a long, complicated process, but each ship, bear in mind, that we cut off is billions of dollars for the Maduro regime. So each one is significant.
Absolutely. Big headlines this week as well, as President Trump and Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, got together talking about a great many things, but among them, Iran. And this headline out of Axios says that Netanyahu raised the possible round 2 strikes on Iran with Trump. Here's a quote. Trump and Netanyahu both saw the 12-day war with Iran in June as a tremendous success, but Netanyahu has argued more strikes might be necessary to prevent Tehran from rebuilding its capabilities. Honestly, since those strikes in June, they were considered a major success by the president. And I think he's been pretty clear since then that others could be in the works if Iran takes actions to try and rebuild nuclear capabilities. Your thoughts on this headline and where you think the president may stand on this going forward?
No, President Trump's been very clear that his bottom line is Iran cannot have, under this leadership, a nuclear weapon, that is a deadly threat directly to the United States. That's our national security interest. And so that's why he took action in June. But what we've seen since June is a real sort of a dissolution of the regime's power. They were shown to be a paper tiger. They couldn't do anything about the 12 days of Israeli strikes and then the decisive American strike. They had no defenses. They were completely revealed. And so we've had a dissolution then of their power in Iran, and we've seen 5 days over the last week of very significant protests because the rial, their currency, has hit a new low against the dollar. It's essentially worthless. Merchants can't open their shops because the currency doesn't mean anything. They can't sell anything. And people are starving. They're running out of water. So we should watch this very, very closely because regime change is not the president's errand in Iran. He said repeatedly that is up to the Iranian people. But if they take things into their own hands, which they have done within living memory, and make a change in Iran, that could just be a massive strategic win for the United States, very much along the lines of what we were just discussing with Venezuela.
Yeah, a great point about the people in Iran. Victoria Coates, thank you very much, sort of setting the table for us here as we head into 2026. Greatly appreciate it.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.